All right. After I finished Valerian, I did want to go back to the Incal and the Johto verse, as it's called, and check out the stories in there. Now, everybody tells me the Meta Barons is really where it's at, and that's where it gets really good. But I wanted to read this whole trilogy in order first, and then get to the Meta Barons and check that out. So this is before the Incal. It's by Jodorowsky, and Janjitov is the artist who was on this. And of course, Mobius did the original Incal, and that's why it really stood the test of time. Beautiful art, crazy out there adventures. And there's some crazy out there stuff in this. This is by Humanoids. Nice little hardcover with one of those. I love their ribbons. You got me when there's a ribbon. And it's about 300 pages, and there's a nice interview with the artist in the back. I can't really turn to the pages in this book as we talk about this because there's a lot of nudity and stuff in it. Not on the first page, though. So here's what the art looks like. He was trying to kind of copy the Mobius style a little bit. You get a little bit of a lots of bright colors and all that through here. And of course, this is a prequel. And so the main character, John, who's a detective of sorts, gets embroiled in this controversy where it gets really degenerate really fast in this one. The first Incal, of course, had a lot of that going on too. But this goes to the next level on it. All right. My name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author, an award-winning comic creator, and I make science fiction comics, science fiction books, and things like that. So this is definitely up my wheelhouse, at least in terms of like genre. And if you are interested in my reviews, you like the channel and things like that, I would appreciate it if you go to the links in the description below. Check out my books. We've got independent books. It's hard to get eyes on them, so I would appreciate everybody who does so. And I appreciate everybody who has done so too. All right, so he gets in this controversy where he is scouting out. After a while, you get a lot of universe set up where you meet the Techno Pope and the president who clones himself all the time, and then of course the Meta Baron who's floating around, and you learn about all the levels and all the people back and forth. The oppressed people, the aristocracy, and he starts to follow these hookers around. And over the course of this whole deal, he realizes there's this conspiracy going on that none of the hookers have babies, and it's kind of weird. And so he starts to trace them down. He gets caught up again with the police and all that, and then ends up in this medical hospital where he is finding these hookers. And along the way, he met a member of the aristocracy, and the aristocracy has these halos that float around their head and everything, literally. And of course look down on everybody. And there's a lot of nudity, a lot of weird hookers naked in it, a lot of drug use, just heavy degeneracy in this. So I gotta warn that in advance. And it was a turnoff for the beginning of the book. I would say the first 100 pages were really, there's a lot of that going on, and then there was a lot of just out there world building, which didn't really seem to apply to the plot, which I guess they just wanted to kind of tie it into the Incal universe a little bit. And the story really didn't get going until that 100 pages in so much. So that's an interesting point. They eventually find out that the hooker babies, they're sucking out the skulls of them, and then that's how the halos are made for the aristocracy babies. And so it's it's a message about the elite aristocracy down, literally killing the downtrodden and all that. And he exposes it, and he's in a spot where he's maybe going to get the girl at the end and all that, and then he gets caught by the authorities and all that, and before he can get that broadcast out to everybody, kind of in exchange for her life, he ends up kind of getting a lobotomy and losing all of his memories, which is where the Incal starts at the beginning of that book. Now this is a prequel, but it's like I said, prequel, so this is done after the Incal. And that book kind of picks up literally from the last page of this one. So pretty neatly tied in. It did work very well in terms of just expanding the universe and letting you know who this character was before. And that other story does start with a nice mystery of what's going on here? Why is he falling off Suicide Alley, and why does he not have memories? What's going on? So it does do that nicely. There's a lot of out there concepts and neat artistic things and all that in here also. Like I said, the first 100 pages were a bit slow, and so I had a hard time getting into it until that point, and then it really ramped up real quick right after that. Like I said, the degeneracy is like off the scale on it. So art wise, it's not Mobius, but it is pretty neat and pretty well done all the way around. And story wise, it's back and forth. It doesn't really have the grand sci-fi scope of the Incal. It's really much more of a like gritty streets, story compared to the other one, which I don't like as much. And like I said, the pacing was a bit off on it. So overall, I'd say it's like a 7 out of 10. It was an all right read, but not my favorite thing in the world. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this, and we'll be back soon.